morning, everyone. Okay, so guys, I just want to give you a warning. Be very careful because yesterday I was about to get scammed, and I think I did halfway through, which is really scary. So the night before I ordered something on Amazon, and yesterday somebody called me that there has been suspicious activity. Somebody ordered an iPhone 13 from the US with your Amazon account, who has your password, blah blah blah. They verified me, all of that. Now meanwhile, like, I was driving, it was a really horrible day, so they caught me at a really good time. And then I go and check my bank statement and I don't see a pending transaction for an iPhone, and I check my Amazon, I'm not seeing anything pending or anything purchased. He starts talking blah blah blah, and then I kind of got suspicious, so I hung up the phone and I searched on Google Amazon phone number and I called Amazon. Now the scary part is here that their number is connected to Google and it has where it's sponsored number. So it says Amazon, it says their number, but you have to look at the top, it says sponsored. And I was driving, so I just call the number and it calls these fraud people, scammers, back. And then I'm like, they just contacted me from Amazon. They said there's a suspicious activity. Somebody purchased an iPhone. It wasn't me. I didn't know if I should trust them or not. And he's like, no worry, ma'am. You called Amazon. They verified me. And then he's like, you need to download this app. It's called AnyDesk. It's a remote desktop. So they get virtual access to your phone. So he's like, yeah, download this app and then press accept, and I did like an idiot. So they were on my screen. I don't know how the app works, if they can download file while they're looking at my screen or what. They can have access to my photos, my cards. Anyways, all in all, he went on my Amazon, he's like, do this, do that, and then after he's like, take a picture of your Visa card front to back and then I'll tell you what to do with it. When he said that, I'm like, okay, this is really suspicious. I'm like, what do you mean? No, Amazon would never ask something like that, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, ma'am, I'm here to help you. If I wasn't Amazon, how am I able to send you a text? And they were texting me and it looked like it's from Amazon. So it's really freaky, how they can just catch you off guard at the worst time and you fall for it. Story short, I hung up. I actually searched again Amazon. There's 1,000 numbers, guys. I got the proper number. I called them. They're like, no, ma'am, that's a scam. It's fraud. What did you give out? I'm like, I didn't give out anything, but they had remote access to my phone. I don't know how this app works, if they're able to save data or they just see what I go through. But all in all, they asked for my card number. I didn't provide that. I just hung up. All day I've been calling my banks, my cards. It's a whole hassle. So don't fall for it. If anybody calls you from any shit and says there's suspicious account, even Amazon, I've never heard of Amazon. I know Canada Post calls, I know other places do. Amazon was so new for me, especially the night that I've already ordered something. Guys, I'm just sharing my experience. Don't fall for it. And if any of you guys know about this app, if they're able to save data, or they're just able to see my screen as I'm going along, if anybody knows how it works, because you have to be good in IT or whatever, just reach out to me. But all in all, I had to call all my banks. I had to call everywhere because I had pictures of my ID on my iPhone, and I was scared maybe they were able to save that data. So it's a whole hassle. Don't fall for it. It's crazy how we live in such a shitty place that they're allowing these calls to be made. Scams are everywhere. Honestly, it's embarrassing for Canada to have this kind of system going on.
I think I got scammed by a laser company. So you guys probably know this laser company. It's super popular. It's called Laser Away. So anyway, they're having this fucking sale that they keep advertising on Instagram, and I'm like, oh, like let me just ask about it. And it was pretty much like put in your info to get like a consultation with somebody via like phone call or whatever. So I was like, okay, why not? It's just a call. So anyway, I have my call scheduled after work. Mind you, I have to do shit after work. This was like on the 3rd of July, so it was just a hectic time. They call me. Dude, the girl starts pressuring me into like literally like taking it now. She's like, the sale ends tonight, and like, this is like 70% off, and she's just like fucking talking to me about all this shit, right? And usually I'm like a very much like I have to sit on it type of person. I don't like making decisions like that, especially when there's a lot of money involved. Anyway, bro, she starts out telling me that like the first package of what I want, mind you, I just want my bikini, underarms, and mustache, $3,000. Now, I don't fucking know really much about laser, which I should have done my research before going into it. But like I said, I was under the impression that this was just like a consultation, and like that's it. I was just gonna get the price and then see if I'm like eligible for or a good candidate for laser. So then homegirl's like, yeah, that's like 3,000 for all three areas. Now, if you do this and that, like, trying to make it sound like a good deal. Usually it's like 5,000 or some shit, and I'm like, bro, that seems like a lot. Like I said, I'm not too familiar on prices, but like I know people like close to me that have gotten laser, and I know damn well. Okay, like for example, my sister, she's gotten laser, right? I know damn well she wasn't paying that much. I know she wouldn't. Not because she's cheap, but because that's fucking expensive, bro. Like, come on. So then I'm like, I don't know. I'm telling the girl, like, I don't know. Like, I kind of need to sit on it. Like, I'm not sure if I'm ready to jump the gun right now. She's like, yeah, again, the thing is, like, the sale ends tonight, which honestly, I knew that was a red flag, and I should have just hung up, but you know how these fucking salespeople just, they know what to say and shit, and usually I don't fall for it, because I am a salesperson myself. I don't know what the fuck was in the air that day. I just felt really anxious. I just wanted to get her off the phone. I agreed to it, literally. I know, stupid. So I tell the girl, I'm like, okay, like, sure, I'll take this package. And then I have to get, like, a fucking credit. I need to open a credit line to pay monthly because I'm not trying to pay that all off at once. So then she's going over credit options with me, and it was all just happening so fast. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I knew I shouldn't have done it, but I still did it. Go to part 2 for the finished story.
Get ready with me to go and change my winter tires to summer tires as I give you the gist of how I got scammed when I first arrived in Canada. Yep, you heard me right. I got scammed. You guys, this is the serum that I use. It's called Cloudalie. You guys, this is the best of the best serum. Like, this thing is good, but it's good. Like, good. Back to my story. So, in Canada, we use Interact to pay. This thing I want to finish, but we pay with something called Interact. We don't like do the traditional bank account sending, like where in Nigeria we send our bank account and then you send us the money in our bank account. No, here we get money sent to our account with our email address, right? So on this fateful day, I was in my house, like it was like past 1 a.m. in the midnight. I was in my house, and then I just got this text message on my phone, and I saw the link in this text message. As at that time, government was like giving people like carbon rebates, money, and I had no idea, honestly. So I had no idea what that means, but I shared that government was giving people free money. So this is my moisturizer. It's from Omega Water Cream. It's in Kids List, and it's really nice and very hydrating. So as I was saying, I got the message on my phone, and there was a link attached to the message that click this link to access your carbon rebate from the government, like carbon rebate funds from the government. Me unknowing to me, I didn't know what that meant. I clicked the link, right? So and then it directed me to my bank app, and then it said deposit money. So when you send money in like Canada, it comes as a mail. It is left to the receiver to either accept or reject the mail, which most people accept. So when I saw the mail, I was like, oh, okay. So for me to accept the money, I thought it was like the normal thing. I didn't know that if government wants to give you money, is it that they send you check or they do like direct deposit? They only need your like, there's a way they do it. We go straight to your account. You don't even have to do anything. But me, I didn't know because I was new. So I just, took the money. Clicked the link. It took me to my bank app and it said deposit. I just clicked deposit. And then it came, I think there was, I don't even know how they programmed that. It sure came as deposit successful. Maybe I was supposed to check my bank account balance to see if my money increased or not. I didn't check account balance. My mom was happy that I got free $200 from government, and I was already thinking of what to do with the money, how I'm going to spend the money. So you guys, I was already thinking about how I was going to spend the $200 that I had not seen. Not knowing that I opened my bank app to give this person access to the money in my account. I had no idea. So like 20 minutes later, I just got a mail on my phone that this was so and so amount that had been successfully deposited to a strange email. I was like, how? I just went to check I opened my bank app, and then I went to check it, and I realized that there was no money in my bank app. There was no money in my account. The person swiped everything, everything in my account. I started screaming. I started crying in the middle of the night. I started crying. I called customer care. This guy didn't make me scared. It's getting too long. There's going to be a part 2.
Get ready with me while I tell you guys how I got scammed when I was in college. It all started when I was going to the Dominican Republic with one of my best friends. It was COVID. You needed to have certain paperwork signed upon arrival. I was just waiting to hear back from my doctor. Thinking this was Kaiser, I answer this call. It's this officer from the National Treasury or some shit saying that my credit card information has been involved in some sketchy stuff and that I need to prove it wasn't me or they have an arrest warrant out for me. So being young and naive, gave into this and I started talking to them. I was freaking out. I booked my ticket and my friend's ticket on Expedia. I never use Expedia, so I just didn't know if it was shady, where my credit card information was going. There was just so many thoughts going through my mind. Eventually tells me that he has an arrest warrant for me. The only thought going through my mind was the fact that I just applied to dental school and they do run a background check on you. So I was just freaking out that yes, they may arrest me, and if this is true, my dad or one of my friends will come bail me out. It will get cleared up. Getting that off my record was just gonna be a whole shit show that I didn't want to deal with. Freaking me out. He's saying all this information about me and I'm wondering how the hell he even got this information to begin with. Saying that he's from the Orange County Police Department. I'm listening to all his instructions. Then proceeds to tell me that I have to take all the money out of my accounts and put them in a government safe box so they can see overnight that it's not me who's using my cards for suspicious activity. I get in my car and I start driving to the bank and crying my eyes out this entire time. Any moment that I would go silent, this man would start yelling at me, saying, if you hang up this call right now, I'm gonna call the cops. The cops already have an arrest warrant for you. So then at one point I was like, you know what? I don't really believe this. I'm gonna call the cops myself. As I'm looking up the Orange County Police Department's phone number, get a call from the same exact number. And I'm like, this shit has to be real because it's the same number. And I text my roommate and I'm like, I'm gonna pick you up. Don't say anything, just get in the car and shut up. And she's so confused, but she obliges without saying anything. We make it to the bank and to my luck, the bank was closed, so the maximum I could deposit was $1,000. I had to drive all the way to Oakland to go put it in this government safe box. Government safe box was in a liquor store and it was the Bitcoin machine. And so I put all my money in this Bitcoin machine. He goes, you need to go to the local grocery store and put the rest of your money on gift cards. This is all happening. I'm literally sobbing my eyes out. All I can think about more than anything is my career in dental school and how if something happens, I'm not getting in. Everything I worked so hard for was just gonna go out the door. And then I tell him that my phone is about to die and he goes, okay, no problem. Go into the Bonds or the Safeway and buy yourself a charger and we'll reimburse you tomorrow. I make it to Safeway and I'm about to buy a charger and I don't know, something just is telling me this is not normal. And so I look it up. Will the IRS or whoever he said he was ever call me? And it specifically says on the .gov website, .government,
that we will never call you. We will always send you mail. And so I hung up the call, and this guy starts calling me, and then suddenly out of nowhere, WhatsApps me, pick up my call right now. And the funniest of it all was he changed his profile picture to the United States government logo. And at that point I knew it was fake. So these people had the thickest Indian accents, and they were saying their names were like Officer Veronica and like Officer John and Bob. And I don't know why, I just believed it. I thought maybe, I don't want to stereotype, maybe that's really their names. I know this is a stupid story, and I say it out loud, I can't even believe I did this. It really scared the shit out of me in the time. So you had to be there. I have a funny story to tell people on how I got scammed $1,000.
Get ready with me as I tell you about the time I got scammed out of over $1,000. So it was literally the first day of my remote internship the summer of COVID, so summer 2020. And so obviously on my first day, like I know who I'm reporting to, but I don't know the vibe of the company. Like it was a startup, so I didn't know if I was gonna be in like constant communication with the CEO. In retrospect, obviously I wouldn't, but so it's like halfway through the day and I hadn't had that much to do because it's my first day, and I get an email from the CEO, or what looks like the CEO, saying, "Hey Brett, I have an urgent favor for you to do. What's your cell phone number?" So I give my number, he texts me, and he's like, "We're closing a deal, and I want to get the people we're closing the deal with, like a gift for it, and I want it to be eBay gift cards." And in my head, I was like, that's kind of weird, like eBay gift cards. And he was like, "Can you go get them for us?" I was like, "Yeah, on it." Like straight ahead. And I was like, where do I buy an eBay gift card? Like I didn't even know where to go. And then I like look it up. It's like, okay, like a grocery store, like whatever. And I'd like to disclose that I called my mom on the way and told her what was happening, and she did not suspect anything suspicious either. She was like, "Oh, I guess just like do it and like put it on our credit card and I'm sure they'll reimburse you." I'm literally running around trying to find a place to buy eBay gift cards, and they had asked for two $200 gift cards. So I buy them. I'm like, "Hey, like got the gift cards." I text him. He's like, "Okay, great. Like, can you scratch off the numbers at the back and send me a photo?" And I was like, yeah. In retrospect, I understand how dumb I was being, but in my defense, it was my first day. I didn't know. I wasn't fully thinking straight. I scratch off the numbers and send it. And then he says, "Okay, great. I'm actually gonna need you to get 4 more for $200. And I literally was like, this is so much money. Like, this is so weird. But I go back into the store and I'm like, okay, like whatever. And as I'm in the store, my like actual boss, like not the CEO, texts me asking me to do something. And I'm like, "Hey, yeah, I'll get right to it. I'm just doing this. I'm running this errand for the CEO." And he was like, "What?" He calls me as I'm literally checking out. He's like, "Oh my God, this is a scam. Like, absolutely don't do it." So obviously I immediately start bawling, crying, realized I've been fucking scammed and I'm not getting the money back. And I call my mom. Literally, I'm a wreck. And the company obviously felt awful, but they were like, "Oh my God, this literally happened to another employee on their first day, like however long ago, like a few months ago." So anyway, the 2 where I sent the numbers that I scratched off on the back were like gone, but we were able to report the following $800 to fraud to American Express, which I think we ended up getting back. But I'm so happy to hear that I'm not the only one who fell for this. I mean, again, I definitely wasn't very smart. So if you ever get an email or a text from your boss asking you to get gift cards, don't be like me and fall for it. Just don't do it.
So after some Googling of these terrible complaints, all these people saying it's a scam, I joined the Facebook groups. Everybody's like, "I don't know how to use this thing. I think I got scammed. It's not worth it," etc., etc. And after a very sleepless, restless night, I go to Josh and I'm like, "I'm not comfortable with this." By the way, I took out a loan. I took out a line of credit. I opened up a line of credit with a bank in Panama. Red flag, red flag. Why did I do that? They have different regulations overseas. So like, what the frick was I doing? I opened up whatever. Open up a line of credit. I go to Josh. I'm like, "I just don't think we should do this." So he's like, "Well, why don't we ask some people that are in the resort and see if anybody has purchased one of these?" So we literally start, everybody's laying out, they're enjoying their time. We start tapping people on the shoulder and going, You buy the thing? Did you buy the thing? Are you a part of the thing?" And some people were like, "Oh, hell no, I would never do that." But we actually ran into a few people that were like, "Yeah, we signed up. We love it." And then we ran into this one couple, and this couple really, really saved us. Saved me and my line of credit. We go up to this couple and they were like, "Yeah, we bought the platinum package, but we had buyer's remorse." The next day we went back
and they ended up giving us the entire platinum package for $5,000, which at this resort, one vacation there was over $5,000. So Josh and I, we went back to our room and we were like, okay, do we go and we cancel this? If we paid X amount for this 1 week and we actually do get even 2 weeks free, it's worth it. So we go back to the sales office, we find our guy, and we're like, hey, we want to cancel. The tone changed so much like that. They were like, oh, okay, whatever. The first time they offered us drinks, champagne, yada, yada, yada. Now they're like, all right, whatever. Are you sure? Okay, cool. They were so mean to us. And then at the very last minute, they were like, all right, well, we'll give you all of this, but for $5,000. And we were like, all right, we'll do that. So we did it. I'll let you guys know if it actually works eventually. But we figured, again, 1 week was X amount over 5,000. So we got scammed. At the end of the day, we justified it. Like, if we got slightly less scammed, then maybe it's worth it. Right? Please somebody tell me that it's slightly worth it.
So there's a really pretty girl on here that posted, show up ugly, show up for yourself, and post the video. And I'm awkward as shit, so I don't feel like I'm very confident in the way that I look appearance-wise. But I guess here I am for accountability purposes and showing up ugly, I guess. If y'all could check out my page and engage from the bottom up, it would help me very much so. Thank you guys.
Get ready with me. Atëherë, Rimerin e kam vendosur edhe do bëjmë një gati bashkë sepse do hikim në Verona, që do bëjmë një bashkëpunim edhe do ju marrim me vete, do me thonë jo këtu në TikTok për në YouTube. Atëherë, si fillim vendosa pak krem edhe tani po vendos këtë nga Kiko, është një foundation, por është me vërtet shumë i lehtë, nuk është shumë i rëndë. Volevo. Vendos edhe korektorin, do me thonë concealer, se vendosa këtë, edhe ndërkohë do ju shpjegoj diçka. Atëherë, unë mendoj që juve e dini që kam qenë e lidhur me një çun për 2 vite gjysmë. Okej, në rregull, gjërat nuk kanë shkuar shumë mirë, do me thonë, nuk jemi më bashkë, por gjëra që më jep shumë bezdim është që një vajzë se do ishte shoqja ime, ka bërë shumë shoqëri me këtë çunin këtu. E derisa është shoqëri, unë të them, okej, në rregull, s'ka gjë. E nuk është që tani po unë edhe këtë çuni kemi mbytur, do me thonë që krejt tjerë vajzat nuk mund t'i plasin ose nuk mund bëj shoqëri me ata. Nuk thash asgjë. Por problemi erdhi kur kjo vajza filloi të më thonë shumë gjëra, do me thonë shumë, si thuhet Eleni, buxhie, shumë rena. Të dielen ka qenë tek shtëpia ati edhe me një çun tjetër, e nuk më tha asgjë. Atëre, kur unë kam, do me thonë, kur kam marrë me di krejt këto gjëra këtu, që kjo më kishte thonë vetëm rena, i thash, pse bën kështu? Aty më tha që donte me mbyll shoqërinë me mua, po edhe unë desha me mbyll sepse nuk mund t'i, nuk janë gjëra që të bukura nga shoqja, nuk bëhen këta gjëra. Edhe atëre mbyllëm këtë shoqëri sepse nuk ishte komunque shumë e bukur si raporte. Edhe çfarë po bëjnë këto dy tani? Çfarë këto dy? Kjo e don, çfarë do të thonë, i pëlqen. Edhe unë nuk them që nuk mund të pëlqej, sepse jemi njerëz, mund t'je që ndoshta mund të pëlqej, por mos ja trego që mbaje për vete, për respekt. Jo, kjo shen ka fare pa edukat, zi çfarë të them, por nëse. Edhe kjo ishte pak historia që unë doja t'ju tregoja, edhe më shkruani te komenta çfarë historie tjetër doni që unë t'ju tregoj. Edhe atëherë unë për momentin nuk e shoh kështu se është ky body këtu nga Zara, por nuk më pëlqen sepse janë, si me thonë, 3 ngjyra. Janë bezh, zeze edhe
blu, quindi dopo andrò in body. Se jeans mi pëlqejnë shumë, I kam letur dje nga Zara, edhe janë shumë të bukura, me pëlqejnë. Bodin do e ndroj. Atëra me duke që do vendos këtë bodin këtu, që e kam marrë gjithmonë nga tek Zara, edhe do rrugoj flokët.
Hey yo, anyone who's out in Turkey right now, yeah, be aware of this scam that's going around because it is fucking tourists over and it's costing them thousands of pounds, yeah. So imagine, me and my girl went out for dinner tonight. We went to this little steakhouse. We jumped in a yellow taxi because they're the ones that we use, and we've been told make sure you use the yellow taxis, innit? So we jump in this yellow taxi. We were asking how much it took it to this steakhouse, about 10 minutes up the road. 400 lira. I was like, all right, cool. It's only about £12, innit? So anyway, we're in the cab. We arrive at the steakhouse. He pulls out the card machine. I tap my card on there. Beep, it goes through. He goes, sorry, brother, it's not gone through. I was like, what? Okay, cool, just tap it again then. Boom, I tap it again. Ah, it's not working. Have you got cash? I was like, yeah, I've got cash in it. I pull cash out. I go to hand it over to him. Hannah goes, wait, check your Apple Pay, innit? I swipe down on my Apple Pay. 2 successful payments have gone through. And I was like, yo, boss, you've charged me twice for this cab and you told me that it's not gone through. He goes, no, sir, it's not gone through. I was like, brother, I fucking know it has. You're trying to scam me, innit? You're trying to run finesse on me. Hannah was like, show him what you're doing. I was like, all right, cool. So I jumped out of the taxi. I grabbed the door, and basically there's this little trick you can do on these taxis. If you're strong like me, you grab it, you fucking pull it off. I walk round to the driver's side. Crack, 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 crack. I buried it into his fucking skull. A whole fleet of taxis turn up. I was like, fuck, what do I do? All of them start jumping out with machetes. I was like, you fucking dumb, machetes. I pull out my fucking veneers, I attach them to my shoelaces, I fucking swing it round. See ya. I start whipping them by the throats. They're all getting their fucking throats cut open by me, the big fucking light-skinned general. My girl, she jumps out, she picks up one of the fucking cars, she condenses it into a fucking bowling ball. We go running over to this bowling alley, she goes through, bowls the perfect fucking strike, wins this bowling competition, bruv. Crazy.
Siemka, pomalujemy się i opowiem wam dzisiaj, jak zostałam oskamowana na prawie 500 zł. Od razu sorki za mój menelski głos, ale dopiero wstałam z drzemki, bo miałam klientki od 6 i jest aktualnie godzina 17:30, a ja się maluję, bo idę na urodziny. Ta historia miała miejsce prawie rok temu i wydarzyła się z tego powodu, że moja przyjaciółka ma urodziny w październiku i trzeba było jej kupić jakiś prezent. No i oczywiście 2 dni przed jej urodzinami przypomniałam sobie, że warto byłoby jej coś kupić. I pamiętałam o tym, że jej się podoba taka jedna torebka z Longchamp, nie wiem, różnie słyszałam jak ludzie czytają, ale pewnie będziecie wiedzieć o jaką firmę chodzi, a jak nie to wstawię tutaj screena ich logo. To jest taka, powiedzmy, semi-luksusowa marka, która nie ma tych torebek jakichś takich super drogich, ale już są troszkę droższe, no bo ta torebka właśnie kosztuje gdzieś w okolicach 500 zł. No i teraz wyobraź sobie tą sytuację, niedziela wieczór, nad ranem tak właściwie, godzina 2, ja leżę w łóżku, przeglądam TikToki i przypominam sobie o tym prezencie, więc stwierdzam, dobra, spróbuję go gdzieś dostać na jakiejś polskiej stronie. Ogólnie ja się nie znam na jakichś takich, wiecie, markach luksusowych, czy około luksusowych, czy droższych. Nie wiem, jakie strony są fejkowe, jakie nie, ale sobie fajnie uwoliłam. Także weszłam po prostu w Google i wpisałam Longchamp i sprawdziłam tą torebkę dokładnie, którą moja przyjaciółka chciała. No i patrzę, a tam link do jakiejś strony, która się nazywa Longchamp Polska. I myślę sobie, kurde, zajebiście, może jeszcze w przeciągu tych 2 dni ta torebka do mnie przyjdzie i nie będę spóźniona z tym prezentem, więc w ogóle super. Weszłam na tą stronę i wszystko wyglądało na niej dobrze. Ogólnie tak, ja mam 23 lata, więc to też jest tak, że ja tak jakby widzę, jak strona wygląda fejkowo i tak dalej, i ta strona wyglądała naprawdę legitnie. Serio, musicie mi uwierzyć, później jeszcze pokazywałam ją moim znajomym i wszyscy znajomi powiedzieli, że ona naprawdę wygląda legit, nie? Także tutaj no dałam się nabrać. Znalazłam na tej stronie tą torebkę i wiecie, przypływ adrenaliny, zajebiście, cieszę się, mega zadowolona i tak dalej. Kliknęłam, kupuj, dodaj do koszyka i zaczęłam ją kupować. I ogólnie problem na stronie był taki, że nie można było zapłacić za tą torebkę Apple Payem ani blikiem, tylko można było zapłacić tylko i wyłącznie podając dane karty. I to jeszcze tak mnie nie zadzwoniło mi w żadnym kościele, że tak powiem, z tego powodu, bo często jak zamawiałam na jakichś takich stronach zagranicznych na przykład, no to wtedy faktycznie nie ma możliwości płatności blikiem ani Apple Payem, tylko właśnie wymagają od Was danych karty. I tutaj, no mimo tego, że ta strona miała być polska, no to i tak i siak, tak jakoś to sobie wytłumaczyłam, że ma to sens. Tylko słuchajcie, olśniło mnie w ostatnim momencie, że nie będę podawała numerów mojej karty płatniczej, tylko podam po prostu numery mojej karty kredytowej, bo dosłownie jakoś miesiąc wcześniej poszłam do banku z jakiegoś powodu, nie pamiętam z jakiego powodu, i dostałam propozycję, tak jakby ofertę wzięcia karty kredytowej i tam pan w banku mnie namówił, powiedział mi, że fajna opcja, tararara i w ogóle, i ja stwierdziłam, okej, dobra, może faktycznie warto sobie zacząć budować zdolność kredytową, taką chociaż wiecie, delikatną, także wzięłam tą kartę kredytową, no i podałam numery tej karty, finalizując zamówienie, a nie mojej karty płatniczej. I w momencie, w którym przewertowało mnie przez 1 000 000 stron podczas dokonywania płatności, ogarnęłam, że coś może być nie tak. I zaczęłam potem, jakby sfinalizowałam tą płatność, ona już przeszła, wszystko już przeszło, z karty zostały ściągnięte pieniądze. I potem zaczęłam sobie tak czytać, zaczęłam sobie wpisywać w neta tą stronę, tą Longchamp Polska i scam, albo tam oszustwo, i potem jeszcze zaczęłam wpisywać to na TikToku. No i jak na TikToku zobaczyłam filmik, w którym ludzie pisali w komentarzach, że to jest scam i tak dalej, i na tym filmiku chyba też było właśnie coś, że to jest scam, to sobie myślę, zajebiście, ale się dałam zrobić po prostu super Zuza, świetna robota, naprawdę. No i napisałam maila do tej firmy, żeby mi anulowali to zamówienie, że się rozmyśliłam, że zrobiłam je na szybko, coś tam, wiecie, no coś wymyśliłam, tak? No nie byłam jak, ej, oddawajcie siano, bo wiem, że to scam, tylko próbowałam, wiecie, coś wymyślić. No ale oczywiście, wiadomo, odpowiedzi nie dostałam. Na szczęście, tak jak mówiłam, to była niedziela, także w poniedziałek od razu pierwsze, co zrobiłam, to pobiegłam do mojego banku. No i w tym banku, wiecie, ja tak siedzę grzecznie, tam jak taka normalnie po prostu owieczka na tym krześle i tłumaczę wszystko pani, jak to było i tak dalej. I że ja bardzo proszę, żeby mi zablokować tą moją kartę kredytową, żeby mi nową wyrobić, bo ja tam podałam jej numery i wszystko. No i pani w banku spisała całe oświadczenie. I ogólnie w ogóle 2 tamte panie w banku były i obie tak tego słuchały z takim zainteresowaniem i ja im po prostu mówiłam, wiecie, próbowałam im wytłumaczyć tak jak wam teraz, że ja im pokazywałam też jak ta strona wygląda i mówię, i wiecie, i mówię im, no kurde, no czy to nie wygląda legitnie? I nawet panie w banku przyznały mi rację, że strona wygląda legitnie. No i pani w banku zablokowała mi tamtą kartę, wyrobiła mi nową, ona tam przyszła do mnie, nie wiem, parę dni później i ogólnie jakoś 2 dni później zobaczyłam, dopiero z tydzień potem, czy 2 tygodnie potem zobaczyłam tego maila, czy tam tą wiadomość na aplikacji mojego banku, że mam im wysłać jeszcze wszystkie potwierdzenia, tak jakby próby kontaktu ze sprzedającym, wszystkie potwierdzenia zamówienia i tak dalej, bo ogólnie jak ja się kapnęłam, jak mnie tam przewertowało przez 1 000 000 tych stron, to ja poskrinowałam sobie wszystko, bo już wtedy w momencie właśnie finalizacji tej płatności, już wtedy właśnie, no, już mi się zapaliła lampka. No i ja dołączyłam wszystkie te screeny tam w tej aplikacji banku, wiadomości zwrotnej i jakoś parę dni potem, 2-3 dni później miałam już pieniądze z powrotem na koncie. Na koncie kredytowym oczywiście, a nie na koncie takim moim normalnym. Także morał z tej bajki jest taki, że po pierwsze to sprawdzajcie 1 000 000 razy, czy dana strona jest legitna, jeżeli zamawiacie z niej coś po raz pierwszy. A po drugie, że opłaca się mieć kartę kredytową, ponieważ karta kredytowa jest ubezpieczona, a wasza karta płatnicza nie. Czyli na pewno jeżeli dokonałabym tych zakupów z karty płatniczej, to nie dostałabym zwrotu tych pieniędzy. No a tak jak mówię, karta kredytowa jest ubezpieczona, także to, że dostanę zwrot, było wręcz pewne, szczególnie przy tak małej kwocie, no bo wiadomo, gdyby to była kwota na przykład 500 000, to już mogłoby być trochę gorzej. I teraz nauczona doświadczeniem, wszystkie zakupy online, przy których muszę podać numer karty albo ogólnie PayPala mam podłączonego do karty kredytowej, na Bookingu zawsze kupuję, płacę za pokoje z karty kredytowej i tak dalej, bo no tak jak mówię, nauczona doświadczeniem, już wiem, że nie ma co z takich różnych stron po prostu korzystać używając karty debetowej. Skończyłam makijaż, dzięki za oglądanie i mam nadzieję, że do następnego.
Okay, the card has your name on it?
Yes.
All right, and go ahead with the number, please.
It's 3, 2,
One. Good evening. We are live on television right now with an investigation into scam callers. We have the FBI on the line. They are tracking this phone number as we speak. Sir, what is your full name again?
If you guys have AT&T, you might want to check your bills right now because tons of people are being overcharged. I just got done spending an entire hour on the phone, over an hour, trying to fix our bill. They charged us nearly $200 more. And after combing through my bill, I found out that they have been charging me for nearly over 2 years for some turbo internet stuff that I was told when I went into the store years ago. I was told for being a loyal customer, it was a free feature for 2 of the phones. Come to find out, they have been charging me for all these years. And whenever I spoke to a manager, well, the supervisor, because the manager said she could only go back 3 months, and then the supervisor told me that no, I cannot be refunded because I was in the store and verbally accepted, which is bullcrap, because there should be some sort of paper trail of me signing, agreeing to pay more money every single month. We were upgrading my daughter's bill at the time, so I was already expecting the bill to go up because of her phone. I should have looked more closely because they put on those extra fees, and we never did. And only now, because they overcharged us 1 month, now I look into it and find that it's on there and they can't even refund me. This is bullcrap. For being a loyal customer for over 10 years, we are like this close to switching. This is awful customer support. I'm sorry. You should trust your customer. I know if I sign something to pay for additional fees, I didn't realize I had to check my bill every single month to make sure you don't add extra fees on top. So if you're an AT&T customer, I highly recommend go look at your bill, because they likely are putting on extra things that you had no idea you signed up for, because they tell you they're perks or for being a loyal customer.
Hello, Squirrel Tribe. Do you remember when you were younger or older or whenever, and you would have a birthday or an anniversary or anything good happen to you, and people would give you cards and they'd put money in it? Used to be back in the day, people would put money. I remember when I was little, I loved getting birthday cards that had money in it that I could go to the mall and spend. I would go to Claire's. I would go to Sanrio Surprises. I would go to the used bookstore. I would go to all different kinds of places and spend that money, because everybody loves money in their hands, right? Dollar bills, 5s, 10s, 20s. And if you were lucky, if somebody really loved you, you might get a $50 or $100 bill in a birthday card or a Christmas card or whatever when you were younger. Well, as you get older, people have moved more to gift cards, which is fine, generally speaking. Generally speaking, gift cards are great. I've talked about them numerous times here on Squirrel Tribe that gift cards can be great when you want to go make a purchase and you don't want to take your bank card. You don't want to have your credit cards with you. You don't want a pocket full of cash. You can just take a gift card. 99% of the time, I'm all for it. Until that 1% happens. And that 1%, it's not because the gift card is bad. It's because the company that runs the gift card is a scam. Listen, my mother-in-law, I love her more than anything in this world. She got my husband, her son, a gift card for his birthday / our welcome to your new home move-in gift, right? She got him a gift card, a $500 gift card. She got him one of these. She got him this specific one. This is the specific gift card that she got him right here. And I want you guys to see this. I need you to understand the conversation we're about to have when it comes to not Visa. Yes, this is a Visa gift card, but this is a vanilla, all right? Vanilla Visa gift card. I believe you can get these at Dollar Tree, maybe Dollar General, maybe Walmart. I'm not 100% sure everywhere you can buy these, but what I do know is we were so excited to have this. $500 on this card. We went to Lowe's today, and after, if you've seen yesterday's video, this morning's video about Home Depot and their whole pay for parking thing, you'll understand why going to Lowe's was kind of ironic today. But we went to Lowe's. And we went to go get a new pole for the flag that we have for the front of the house, the American flag, the United States flag, the stripes and stars, right? Stars and stripes, I think is how you're supposed to say it. So we went to go get a new pole because we wanted a white one instead of a silver one. And while we're there, they have a lot of patio, outdoor kind of furniture things at Lowe's. And we needed something for the house. And we have a covered back porch kind of area that's just open and there's not really anywhere to sit. And we have family coming into town next week. And we were like, it'd be really nice if we could all just sit outside while it's nice out before it's hot, as I'll get out here in Florida, and just have some chairs and something nice to sit on and a table to put, food or drinks or whatever. And so we're looking at Lowe's and they had like the perfect setup, and it was $800 for this perfect setup. Well, we had a $500 Visa gift card, plus I had
Something interesting about me is that every single person in my family has had a stalker. My whole family being me, my older sister, my mom, and my dad. I didn't really put two and two together that everyone had a stalker until my parents and my sister were trying to give me advice on my own situation that I realized, oh, so we've all dealt with a stalker before, cool. A big difference is that both of my parents' stalkers were of the opposite gender, versus me and my sister both had stalkers that were girls. So whenever I would tell this story, people would be like, hold on, she? For me, it all started in my freshman year of college. She was in the same class as I was. I think her and I had a total of maybe 2 conversations, if I'm being generous. I could tell that there was something just a little bit off about her. One of the interactions I had with her, I remember it was me and one of my really good friends who was also in the class that we had together. And me and her were just looking back and forth because she was making such weird comments and just acting very strange. That was the last in-person conversation I had with her before she DM'd me asking to hang out. And obviously, based on the first interaction I had with her, I personally wasn't going to be fake or lead her on when I knew I didn't want to pursue a friendship. Months go by and she texted me asking if we could get drinks or something. It was via Instagram DM, so I just never opened the DM until a couple months later. I finally opened it and saw a massive paragraph in all caps full of rageful text. I am gonna be so honest, it was so incoherent and I couldn't even tell you what she was talking about. All I remember is responding, "I'm sorry, what?" ? And then she blocked me. At this point, I was super confused, but I was like, honestly, whatever. She clearly has something going on. I know I didn't do anything, so I just ignored it and moved past it. After this, I saw her a couple of times on and around campus, and she did not look well. Her hair was matted, her skin was so dry and peeling off. I don't know what it was, but she just looked so not okay, she was not taking care of herself. And every time I saw her, she avoided eye contact, she didn't look at me, she completely avoided me and ignored me. I just left her alone. If she was gonna leave me alone, I was gonna leave her alone. Summer came, I thought it was all over until about the middle of summer, I started receiving texts ranging from people who I went to high school with all the way in California and people who I had never even spoke to in my college. I ran out of time, so go to part 2 if you want to watch the rest of the story.
The craziest and scariest person tried to scam me yesterday, and I feel like some people would believe it, so I'm sharing the story so no one gets scammed by this creepy person. A message from a person claiming to be the PR manager of Triangle Swimwear. First thing I do is check the email, because if it's at gmail.com, it's obviously not Triangle. It was at trianglesocial.com, so I was like, okay, maybe this could be it. Go and look up who is the PR manager at Triangle, and it is the same person's name that this scammer used. Okay, things are adding up so far. The content of the email was so professional. Even at the end, they had an Australian address, which I'm pretty sure is where Triangle is located. I respond, trying to learn more. I say something like, yes, I'd be interested. Then they start talking about a rehearsal video and sending modeling pictures. I went as far to have a whole professional looking PDF saying what you're supposed to do in the rehearsal video. They were emphasizing being in a bikini, a cheeky bikini, and doing a 360 turn. They said they need modeling pictures for sizing references and they want front, back, and side. After this, I was like, this is very, very weird. DM the actual Triangle account, just hey, is this your guys' PR manager email? Because if not, they're literally scamming people with your name. They said, no, it's a scam. They only use at triangle.com emails. It's just so crazy because they used the actual PR manager's name. The email address had a .com email, which I thought was harder to get than it actually is. So professional, and they even knew that Triangle recently changed their sizes and used that as an excuse for why they wanted pictures. Disgusting and honestly so creepy. So please be safe out there and always do your research and double check with the actual brand that this is the correct email.
Okay, get ready with me as I talk about how I scammed my long distance boyfriend on Hinge. What? How I met my long distance boyfriend on Hinge. But because I scammed him. But it worked out because he's my boyfriend now. Okay, anyways. Okay, so when I was single, I was on Hinge and I was just going on dates. It was what I had there was not sure what I'm looking for type shit. But I was on Hinge, going on dates, meeting people, wasn't going very well. Vancouver is a big city, but once you know one person, you know at least 10 other mutuals. So, it wasn't great, and so I was bored. And I was like, okay, on Hinge, if you don't know, you can change your location. I was like, you know what? Let's try out this feature. I mean, it's an available free feature. Might as well. So I changed my location to a bunch of places, and then I landed in London, England. Mind you, I went into this not expecting anything because I was like, this is across the fucking ocean. Nothing's gonna happen. And I had like a little like a quick reply for if I do match with a guy, because I was like, I'm just gonna match just to see how like they speak over here or whatever, or how they flirt, I guess. And then I was matching with people, but I'd be like, oh, like if they asked to meet, I'd be like, sorry, like I was just there on a layover. But I'm back home now, so I'm afraid we can't meet. And then they'll be like, oh, that's a bummer. And then we'd stop talking. And I'm like, totally fine. I wasn't expecting anything going into this to begin with. And then I matched with this one guy. And then we started talking. And then it went really well. But he was really nice. Conversation went so smoothly. Like, I didn't have to try super hard carrying the conversation. And then he asked to meet as well. And then I had to tell him, hey, sorry, I'm like back home now. Expecting the same response. But then he was like, oh, that's fine. We can just keep talking. Do you want to get off the app? And like, you know, we could just keep it cash. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a fucking pen pal from across the fucking ocean, but sure. We moved over to Instagram, and then we started talking there. And then since then, we just started speaking every day. Like, conversation was good. We always had something to talk about. But both of us knew, like, this wasn't really gonna go anywhere. And, like, neither of us, like, we've talked about it now, like, expected anything out of it. But it was nice to have someone to speak to. But mind you, there's an 8-hour time difference, so if it's morning here, it's pretty much nighttime for him and vice versa. But it was good. Like, it was fine. We both knew that we were both, like, still on the app. We were still speaking to other people. And we were totally cool with it, but we just kept talking every day. It was so weird. And then my dumbass started drunk calling him. Because we also decided to FaceTime one time, just because we've been talking for like a couple of weeks now, so we wanted to FaceTime properly. And it was good. It was really good. It was just like we were messaging. Everything went well. And then I started like drunk calling him, and he would answer every time, even though he's at work. And I was like, this guy's way too fucking sweet. But again, still, nothing serious. And then come around my birthday. My birthday is in April. He knew about it, and I had like a party, and he was like messaging my friend because she mentioned to me that, oh, hey, by the way, he followed me on Instagram. And I was like, oh, weird, okay. But like, she was on FaceTime with us before, so I'm like, okay, probably because they've spoken before. No big deal, nothing. I had my party. He like, my friend, we also drunk called him at my birthday. And he was really sweet. He still picked up, even though it was super early for him because of the time difference. And then I slept over at my friend's house, and then the next day I went home, after I was like carrying all my presents, like the half-eaten cake, and then I go to the front door, and there's a fucking big bouquet of orange flowers, which orange is my favorite color. Looked at the note. It was from him. He got me flowers from all the way over there, for my birthday. I thought that was really sweet. And from that day, I knew I was fucking cooked. I was messaging with a fucking group chat. I was like, guys, I can't, I'm catching feels. I can't be doing this shit. And like, we talk about it now as well. Like, there's been multiple times where we're like telling our friends, oh, like, I should stop speaking to him. Like, it's not gonna go anywhere. Like, I don't know, it's too hard. Long distance is crazy. Like, who could even fucking fathom that thought? But yeah, from then on, we still continued to talk every day, and then we would FaceTime a lot more frequently. And then I was like, fuck, this is dangerous territories. And then around June, he was talking about how him and his friends want to visit Vancouver, Canada, like, just see what's over here. And then I was like, that's cool. Like, we can meet when you're here, and I can show you around. And then unfortunately that trip fell out because his friends like got busy, or they were unable to, and then so it was just kind of a bummer. Until end of June, he was just like, hey, what if like we do something? Like, what if like we go on a trip together, or what if I visit you there? And I was like, you're insane. But yes. So by the end of June, he bought flights to come see me here for a bit over a week. For the first time meeting, don't know this man. Yeah, I could be a fucking serial killer for all he knows. But he booked a flight to come meet me for the first time. Crazy fucking work. This is getting fucking long, so if you're still listening, fucking God bless you. So he booked his flights end of June, but he wasn't coming till end of August. So it like we've been waiting a while, and then like this is where we kind of like start talking about real shit. Like, oh, like you know, if like scenario time, like, do you think you could ever do long distance type shit? And then we were just like we talk about shit like that. And we were both cooked at this point, fucking fried. Fucking well done at this point. But now it's fucking end of August. He packed his bags, hopped on the flight, and then all of a sudden I'm fucking driving to YVR to pick up this man I've never met before, and I was shitting my pants. I pick him up, I see him. This man was not catfishing me. It's just a young, fine, tall, and handsome. Check. The whole time he was here, we got an Airbnb together, and we pretty much just like, I just showed him around Vancouver. We had a great time. Everything was just like how it was, speaking on the phone, FaceTiming. It was fucking perfect. Like, it didn't feel real. Like, I had to like, sometimes like, sit back and be like, hold up, I met this man off a fucking Hinge, across the fucking ocean. Everything went well. And then we went out one day. He asked me to be his girlfriend. I, of course, said yes. I was like, this man is not leaving this country without being my man. And then we started dating. But we're long distance, so it fucking sucks balls. But we're making it work. He went back after a little over a week. And then he came back end of October. Because we were like, the wait is insane. And we spent Halloween together, so that was really fun. But since then, we have not been able to see each other because I work retail. So we have blackout periods, so I'm unable to take time off from like November to beginning of February. However, in November, I booked flights to come see him, and I will be flying tomorrow, and I'll be landing exactly on Valentine's Day. So after 3 months of not seeing my long distance boyfriend, I'll be able to see him on Valentine's Day too. Anyways, I think I'm done. Anyways, that's how I met my long distance boyfriend on Hinge. I can't wait to fucking see him. Valentine's Day nails. Okay, bye.
Y'all, the creepiest thing just happened to me today. And this is a PSA for everyone looking for jobs to be freaking careful. So I graduated from Texas Christian University last December, and yesterday when I was out with my mom, I got an email from the psychology department at TCU inquiring about a job opportunity as a student aide in the psychology department. I thought the whole thing was kind of weird from the get-go because I'm not even a student at TCU anymore. Also, when I was a student there, I wasn't even a psychology major, so I don't know like how they got my email, but whatever. I really need a job right now. I need money, so I decided to go through with it. The directions stated to text this lady, one of the professors in the psychology department, your name, your email, and your grade at TCU. Nothing really out of the ordinary so far. They asked me to send my resume, my availability, whatever. Nothing crazy, nothing suspicious. But today is where it got weird. I woke up to a text from this person asking me to go to the nearest store affiliated with the department, which made no sense. I was like, a store affiliated with the psychology department? I don't know what you're asking me. But basically asking me to go there and see if they have the supplies that are needed for this job. We were going back and forth. I still didn't really understand what they were asking me because they worded it just like really strangely. So then I checked my email and there was a list of 3 supplies that I was going to need for this job. So they asked when the earliest time I could go to one of these department stores such as Walmart or Target and see if these supplies are available. I told them that I could go within the hour, and thank goodness my fiance had just gotten home from work, and so I asked him to go with me. And I thought this part was really weird too because the person asked me to let them know when I got to the department store, but whatever, I did it anyway. So my fiance and I drove to our nearest Walmart and I texted the person when I got there. Then it just kept getting weirder and weirder because the person asked me for the specific address of the Walmart that I was at. Right after that, I got a text from them saying that I needed to go to the electronic department and ask for these 3 supplies and if they carried them in store. Once I did that, I texted them and told them that they did not carry them in store, but they did carry them online, and all they said was, noted. So my fiance and I are walking out the door and I get a text message from the person again telling me to go to the prepaid card section, which like, what? Just say gift cards. Long story short, they asked me to buy a $500 Apple gift card for whatever reason that just absolutely made 0 sense. And literally at the exact same moment, I get an email from some payroll person with a $1,700 check. But the only way to deposit the check was to put your account number on it. I don't know. Anyway, way too many sketchy things going on, so me and my fiance just left. The more I thought about it, I just got really creeped out because something really bad could have happened, especially if I went by myself. So ladies, always be careful, especially when you're applying for a job.
There's a new scam in town. There's a new scam in town. Hear me out, okay? I can't even believe this. I literally just got off the call with them right now. These people call me in an 079 number. I normally never answer numbers that I don't know, but this time I was like, let me answer. There's someone who called me in an 079 number during the weekend. Maybe it's them again. Ngiphendula call. So ngiphendula call, guys. I'm like, hi. The lady on the other end, she's like, hi ma'am, am I speaking to Miss, says my full names and surname, in full. But what was very alarming for me was that she spoke in a very thick West African accent. A very, very thick. There's no way that a South African call center will have someone with a very thick West African accent working there. There's no way. But I was like, okay, let me hear what this person is about. Ma'am, you are speaking to Inspector. I couldn't get her name. She said she's an inspector from Bramfisher International Airport. Bramfisher International Airport is an airport somewhere in Free State or in Bloemfontein, I think. Could be wrong. A whole inspector of a customs department in an airport in South Africa is West African. Jan. How? So I'm like, hey, yeah, this is a scam already. That's already I concluded. I was like, this is a scam. Why am I wasting my time with these people? But I was like, let me listen. Okay. She's like, yes, we received a package with your information, confirms my full names again, my phone number. And as she was about to say my ID number, the line starts breaking. I'm like, hey, ma'am, I cannot hear you. Please try to move around or try to call me back. I hang up. And then she calls me back with a different number. Now the number is 070. Yeah, 070 number. She's like, yes, ma'am, this is Inspector Antontoni. I was saying we received a package from you and your ID number is, again, says my ID number. Guys, when I told you that was my ID number, she did not miss a number. It was exactly it. At that point, I was like, hey, what's happening here? I was like, no, ma'am, that is not my ID number. When I answered her, I was like, no, ma'am, that is not my ID number. I don't know where you got those details from, but that is not my ID number. And I did not send any package. I am not expecting any package. I don't know where you got my details from. And then she's like, oh, let me give my manager, maybe you'd want to speak to him. I'm like, okay, give your manager the phone. I don't even know why I was entertaining these people because at that point I already knew this is a fucking scam. But she goes and gives the manager the phone. The manager, guys, the manager picks up. He's like, "Hi, ma'am. You're speaking to officer Don. Did he say inspector or officer? I can't remember. But yeah, he's the manager there. Now, the manager again speaks in a very thick Indian accent. Not the Durban accent, Durban South African accent that we know, the Indian South African accent. No. He speaks in a very thick Indian accent, like, very, very, very thick. At that point I was like, why am I entertaining these people? But I was like, let me listen. Manager says, "Yes, ma'am. We received this package from you. Not from you. We received this package with your information." Says my full name, surname, my phone numbers, and my ID number. And this package was going to Mumbai, and we discovered there's about 15 to 20 passports in the package, and there's narcotics, there's MB, I don't know, MB what that is in there. Do you know what this MB what is? Do you know how serious this offense is, ma'am? This is a very serious offense. I'm like, oh no. Sir, do you know where that package is coming from? Can you not trace where that package is coming from? Because I didn't send any package, and that is not my ID number on the package. You know how that man was so certain that is my ID number. He was so stern. He was like, "This is your ID number. This is what we got on the package, and this package is from you." I'm like, nope, that package is not from me at all. I did not send any package. I am not receiving any package. I don't even know what you're talking about. That's not my ID number. That man was so certain, telling me about do you know how serious this offense is? In my mind, I'm like, if I was talking to an officer, also if I had committed such serious offenses, there was no way I was going to be going back and forth with an officer or an inspector or an investigator on a call. Those people will be in my door. Better yet, I'll be in cells already. I would not be going back and forth on a call with them. Already. So, yeah, I was like, you know what? You're wasting my time. Please stop calling me. I know your location. I know where you are. And I've called the cops. They are on the way to you. Stop fucking calling me. And I hung up. So guys, please let us know. Just let me know what is it exactly that they're looking for. Because I didn't get to a point where I know, or they asked me for something, or I didn't get to that point. Benzani, Gwenzwan.